Welcome in, everybody, to the Off the Bench podcast. My name is Jim Cross. Tonight, I am joined by Daniel Ball is in the building. This is 2 weeks in a row, Daniel. Like, how we feeling?
I mean, I'm here. I'm good. I mean, it's just
I feel blessed. I mean, you're not as pretty as Ava, but your voice is like magical.
Am I back? Some would say I'm back.
Some would say you're back. You're not like LSU and Lost right now. You know what I'm saying? But
money isn't everything.
It was there, bro. It was there. Like it's been tough treading in the world of college baseball for me lately. But we're gonna take a trip somewhere we've never been, Daniel. Georgetown. Think about Georgetown. Is Georgetown a problem for you, Daniel? As they were historically a rival of Memphis?
No, because I think we ended up getting the best of Georgetown in the later years of Georgetown when, I guess, I hate to say it, Patrick Ewing was the coach, and things just went downhill pretty quick for the Hoyas. But all I know is I'm not.
Memphis' basketball is about like LSU's baseball right now. There's not much winning. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. It's not. It's the season. The sports season can't end fast enough, and football season can't come fast enough.
Well, we are in baseball season. We're going to be talking Georgetown. We're going to be talking with Connor Price. But before we do, got to plug the sponsors. Jesus One Apparel, John 16:33, empowering young men and women to be bold in their faith. Go get your apparel today. You see Daniel wearing it. Chinook Seedery, 8 flavors, mild to wild. The best seeds in the game. Less salt, no sandpaper tongue. As Daniel says, get you some cinnamon toast. Get you some smokehouse barbecue. Mix it together. Get a good little mix going. Call it smoking toast. It's the best in the game. And speaking of best in the game, Daniel, Old Dominic Distillery in the heart of downtown Memphis. Bourbon, vodka, whiskey, gin. They got it all. Tell them Jim and DB sent you. But Daniel, like you said, the bills have been paid, my man. Connor Price, how are we doing?
Doing well. Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. We're always stoked to have a new school to talk, and we're always, stoked when we have someone who's from our area, get to, talk about Daniel, the roots, being from Memphis. And so with that, man, Daniel, go ahead and crack into this thing.
Yeah, man, it's always good, Connor, to have guys on that go to schools at places that we don't traditionally get a chance to talk to. And you've been at 2 that we haven't had a chance to even talk about. But the big thing is we got some common ground here. We're all from the same area. You're a Germantown kid, obviously, growing up in Germantown, there's a lot of baseball pedigree. There's obviously a lot of maybe pressure that comes with being a baseball player in that area. But for anybody listening that has never been to Germantown, how would you explain it? Like, what is one thing that people must do if they are going there?
Well, I moved to Germantown for middle school. I actually grew up Millington, Arlington area.
Okay.
So originally from Millington, Arlington, I grew up there and then moved in 8th grade to Germantown.
Well, that was a smart move because we're familiar as we're from the Arlington area. So I think you made the right decision.
Yeah. One thing you got to do in Germantown. Man, I'm just going to say Huey's. You got to hit up Huey's. You got to go there. Good food.
Solid.
I mean, if you hadn't had a burger, you hadn't had some wings, you hadn't shot a toothpick into the ceiling, you hadn't lived.
That's right.
Unfortunately, Daniel, COVID ruined the toothpick. It's never going to be again.
Oh,
I mean, I would bring it back. Unbeknownst to Huey's, I would just start launching toothpicks.
Just be in the parking lot, Daniel, handing everybody toothpicks and straws, and just like go in there and do it anyway.
Yeah.
It's like it could be like your non-for-profit like charity work that you do. We're gonna bring back the old Huey's. Let's do it.
But that's to this point, Daniel, there isn't a bad thing on that menu, man. Like it's a guy, like they had a discussion, Connor, on local Memphis radio. They were like, is Huey somewhere you take a girl on a first date? Heck yeah! Like, what are we talking about here?
I would have to agree with that. I think there's a lot of different types of reasons you would go to Huey's. I think it kind of covers all of them, from dates to celebrations. I think there's a plethora of reasons to go to Huey's.
We're gonna get Connor set up at Huey's for life. Just wait, we're gonna run this.
Yeah, I mean, what's the first thing when you go on a date? What's the first thing you usually do on a date, Joe?
You go eat.
Yeah, you go to dinner. What better way to set the tone for the night than going somewhere where you know is on lock? It's on to be on point. You know exactly what you're gonna get. You know the type of food. You know, I don't think you could go wrong. So it'll tell you a lot about the person that you're with too, because if they don't like Huey's, like they don't like you, so you could just move on quick. But anyhow, Connor, let's jump into this. We mentioned it off the rip. Germantown, Arlington, Millington, that whole area. There's a lot of really good baseball going on. But for you, who was your biggest influence growing up playing the game of baseball?
Growing up, probably man, there's quite a few especially in the Memphis area. Like growing up, I had the travel ball coach I grew up with was David Craig. Played for the Bolton Wildcats growing up, and then on over to Doolin's Dodgers and Tim Doolin. I think a lot of those guys.
We went to Bolton, so that's where the fist pump's coming from.
There you go. Yeah, I grew up playing for Bolton Wildcats right at I'm blanking on the park right there. What's it called? Right there by the school.
Ain't no park I know about the school, but
there's it's right up the road. There's Bolton Fields is what it was. I'm sorry, Bolton Fields.
Yeah, here's the irony of the whole circle of this situation. Daniel was a star player for Bolton, and they got knocked out of their state title run by Germantown. So, little interesting note there.
Fun fact: second year, we got knocked out by Mumford team that won state. How about that?
Y'all were just stepping stone on the way, brother.
I know we just couldn't get over the hill. We couldn't get it done. But who's your favorite athlete growing up? Obviously, you got some coaches that are influenced, but what athletes influencing you?
Man, I was a big Kobe fan growing up. Yeah, I think Kobe would take the cake there.
I mean, you could have threw out 100 different ones, but that's a really good one. Yeah. That is probably like from just the athletic standpoint to the mental side to the competitive side. Like he gives you everything that you want, and he wins a lot too. So of course,
yeah,
what better way to build your game?
I was watching the thing, and they were talking about the comparison of just how Kobe had that mentality that was like Jordan, and it was I don't care if you don't like me. And I just remember in real time, being that we root for Memphis, we didn't like Kobe in real time. We respected him, but we didn't like him. And I thought that was a thing. Like the way he played, he wasn't worried about if you liked him or not, or if you were his friend. And I think that's just what made him special on that mentality. Because you remember the one night I was going to go to Silky's and fight him after he hit Mike Miller in the throat. Sarah was like, look, I ain't even lying. Sometimes I do really stupid stuff, Connor, and Daniel will tell you, like, I'm dumb enough to do it, especially at that time in my life. But my wife worked at Silky. She's a bartender, and she's like, you won't believe who's up here. Same night he hits Mike Miller in the throat. Like Kobe Bryant telling Daniel, I'm going up there. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, going up there. He's like, bro, he is 6'8". You're not even going to be able to touch him. And he's like, and you're going to go to jail.
And there's probably a dude named Shaq that was playing with him at the same time. So it was probably you weren't gonna get to Kobe.
I would imagine you probably don't see them right on him, but there's an entourage probably or some sort of security guy that makes sure that none of this happens. So as soon as I was going that direction, next thing you know, I'm gonna get tackled or hemmed up against the wall. So, but it was a fun thought in real time. Like, Daniel, just let me go, man.
That's the entourage of these guys. That's what they live for. That's what their moment is for some dude like you to walk in and think they can get close. And they're like, oh shoot, it's going down tonight.
Nobody would have been like, oh man, no boys, I don't even need help with this guy. I got him. Like
he would have been like, oh, bless your heart, sir. Oh, Connor, LIU, Long Island. How does a kid from Shelby County end up at Long Island?
You know, that was just the opportunity that I had out of high school. Dan Perillo gave me a shot, and got up there. I went and visited around and decided, you know what, I can live here for 4 years, and met a lot of awesome people along the way. And like I said, can't give enough credit to Dan Perillo, and just thanks to that whole coaching staff that gave me a shot.
Yeah, so you do 4 years at LIU, man. Reading each season, just progressively getting better. We talk to guys obviously all the time, and it's all about what you're able to learn, especially in those early years. So for you, to get better the way you did, what did you feel like you had to learn the most at LIU?
Man, I remember from I think the biggest thing is first, like whenever I first got there, I learned really what it meant to be a good teammate. Because obviously in high school and travel ball, like you're playing all the time, you're especially coming out of high school as this, upperclassman, you're always playing. And you get to this new place and you're just this small fish. And so I think the biggest thing is at first I learned how to be a teammate and really how to be there for everyone. And I think throughout the years, I think just the mental side of the game was the biggest thing, right? Like if you have a shot out of high school to go play somewhere, you probably have the physical ability. I think it just comes down to developing the mental side and learning that appreciation for the mental side.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with all that. And, it's really cool, just like I said, to see the progression that you continue to have. And ultimately, you progress to an opportunity to where you can go somewhere like Georgetown. Like I said, we don't know too much about Georgetown. So what about Georgetown made it the destination for you? Because I'm imagining, looking at your numbers, you probably had some opportunity in some other places as well. So what made it to school for you?
Man, this coaching staff, whenever I really started talking to this coaching staff, that's what sold me on it all. From Coach Thompson to Brock Keener, who recruited me here originally, and Coach Cape, they're all just phenomenal people, and they really want the best for everyone here. And for me, that's just what I needed in my next place, is just somewhere that's going to give me an opportunity and around people that truly want to get me better every single day.
Yeah, and I mean, you get there, you do amazing things as you've continued to do throughout. Was there any kind of another learning curve, or man, did it feel like with the veteran seasoning that you already had at LIU, you were able to transition smoothly and be able to play your game at Georgetown?
I think from a mental aspect, I think the veteran seasoning just kind of kicked in. I did have a pretty big learning curve. I'm a catcher, and I came in here as a catcher, and last year we needed some help at third, and so I stepped up and started playing third, and that came with a pretty big learning curve. To go from getting the ball every pitch to fielding ground balls.
It's like the scene from Moneyball. How hard is playing first? It's not hard at all. It's extremely hard.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But that's awesome that you were willing to do whatever it took to help the team. Continues to show what you were talking about, and the fact that being a good teammate, being a good person. So let's break into this season. Noticed in the numbers from last year to this year, obviously the batting average is down, but the power production is there. You already got half as many doubles as you did last year into the season. You already almost got your same home run total. So what is it about your approach? What do we need to do to get the batting average up to match the power production that you got? That you clearly have done something to uptick that.
Yeah, I think this year, I think overall, as you said, I think the power is showing itself much more frequently. I think the biggest thing is cutting down on the strikeouts and just really owning the zone a little better. I talk about that with Coach Robinson, who's here now, and Coach Thompson a lot every day at practice. Really, we talk about just owning the zone and really owning my zone and knowing where my hot zones are and knowing where I do damage versus where I don't do damage as much. And I think just committing to that, I think it'll all come around.
Well, starting to come around. You guys have won 2 in a row. You're 15-10. What's the vibe like on the team?
Man, I love this team. I love every guy on this team. I obviously last year wasn't it wasn't the most stellar looking year ever. This year we have a group of guys that have really committed to each other and really playing for each other. And that has been the root of all success. We have a lot of talent everywhere. But I don't think that we lacked talent last year. I think a lot of this is just us playing for each other and truly trusting each other and just to get the job done.
He brings that up, Daniel, and I took the dig at LSU, but what you just said is so true and so meaningful, Connor. Like, I'm watching it right now. There's not a talent issue at LSU, but there isn't that same energy level, that chemistry, that cohesiveness that you saw from last year's team. And things like that matter. We see it with teams all the time. You can have the right talent, but if you don't have the right guys, you don't have the right heart, you don't have the right leadership, those things matter. So the fact that you feel that way about your locker room, you can't downplay that. I definitely think that's a huge part as y'all continue to progress and push through the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta have that culture, and talent is great and all that's fine and dandy, and even winning games not when you don't like the people that you're playing with, it begins to be it sucks the joy out of the game, to be honest.
Definitely.
I would rather, and this might seem hypocritical, but I think looking back on it, would rather lose with guys that want to play for each other than to win with guys that are all about themselves. If that makes sense.
I 100% agree with you there. I do.
Let's talk uniforms. We try to get uniform conversations with everybody, and obviously Georgetown, even let's be real, LIU uniforms there. What are your favorite uniforms at Georgetown? I mean, you've had some color combinations, and no offense to Georgetown, but they're not the most spectacular colors.
And it's important that you answer this correctly, because Ava, who's normally here, is still going to judge you, because this is her question. She wants to know what your favorite is, to know the kind of person you are. If you have the wrong one, she's gonna judge you.
All right, I have two answers for this, so you got to bear with me here. So for the look of it, I love our pinstripes. We got some good pins. I like them. For the look, I love them because they, the pants are kind of tight. Jersey's a little tighter. For comfort, I like our. Let me think about this. For comfort, I like our gray pants and our gray jerseys. The pants, whenever I'm catching, I don't like the pants to be a little too tight like that. So I know the look looks good. But comfort wise, I like the grays with the gray jersey, because our gray jerseys are clean. And our gray pants are a little looser and a little bit easier to play.
Yeah.
I like the pins. If you can see, I don't really do on there, but they got a Yankees look to them.
They're sweet.
That's kind of what I was alluding to. The color scheme, it is what it is, but it's more of a traditional look, especially when you compare it to a Yankees. When you put those pinstripes on, I mean, there's something about those pinstripes that mean more than just the uniform itself. It is tradition, and it's bringing the game full circle when you can put on a sweet pair of pins. So I feel you.
I'm not typically a traditional person. You know that. I'm the guy who loves when people have alternate jerseys, the black, all that stuff. But I'll be honest, when you compare the tradition of Georgetown, or you look at the LIU that you brought up, because I'm looking at them right now, I do like the traditional in that regard. I think it's also because I'm a pinstripes guy. I've always liked the pinstripes. But it's funny you brought up what, most guests don't answer that question that way, but there are a couple, and I think that matters what it feels like playing in. I think back, Daniel, you remember the Kentucky guys said, and even Vance Honeycutt from North Carolina, they like the vest jerseys. Most people don't like the way those look, but they said it just feels like you're not wearing anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a variety of different ways guys go about picking their favorite uniform, and some are superstitious based on whether we win or we lose, or I play well or I don't. Others are, these look good, they don't feel good, and I don't care, but these look the best. And then others are like, this is tradition. Like, this is what it means to go to Georgetown. This is what it means to put on pinstripes. This is what it means to put on this uniform.
I still think
and
that
I think
the best answer, Daniel, is purple. LSU, when Tommy White said purple means Paul's pitching. I was like, can you come with a better answer than that?
I mean, you're probably gonna win. so there you go. What is your walk-up song, and why did you choose it? This is always another popular question that guys really get into when we ask.
My walk-up song this year is "Word on the Streets" by Key Glock.
Daniel's like, no clue what that is.
So
no, I know Key Glock, Memphis rapper. I do know
right.
that.
That's right.
There you go. There you go.
So little,
dude, I'm telling you.
Little backstory.
He's gonna cue it up here in a second. I'm sure he's gonna.
I can't, because I'm not convinced I could find a appropriate version edited. So
well, there is clean. So we at our stadium, we aren't allowed, like, it's all clean music. So there is clean somewhere. I'm not sure. I think it's probably on YouTube if I had to guess. But
deep in the vault.
Yeah, somewhere.
But you gotta love and he's gonna obviously explain himself, but you gotta love somebody from Memphis keeping it real. Like, you do like that.
Well, that's exactly right. So, like, whenever I first got to college, like, I do listen to music, but I'm not a huge music person. And so honestly, at first I was like, I don't really know. I don't know. So my boys at school picked one for me. Pop Smoke was big at the time. So I had like a Pop Smoke walk-up song. And then, like, I remember my first at bat, I heard it, like, playing, and I was like, this really isn't me. And so I switched it up, and eventually I got on the wave of like, all right, I'm just going to be Memphis all the time. Like, that'll just be my one, like, because I don't know if you guys know, I live in Tampa, Florida now. So I don't even live in Memphis anymore. But
I mean, are y'all two got some connections going for real? But both from Memphis, that whole little Bolton thing, and then he lives in Tampa also. Like, that's just wild,
right?
Did we just become best
Daniel
friends?
had to get away from the weather here.
I think we did.
Where do you live? Like, Tampa is very broad, but like what area?
Tarpon Springs.
Okay, I'm not far from there at all. I'm in West Chase, so
okay.
I know where the springs are. I know where they are.
I like it out there. It's calm.
Yeah, definitely. Places to play. Obviously, going to Georgetown, in a conference, you're getting to play a variety of different teams. But what is the best place that you have played, or have you played there yet?
So, I think so far where I've played, I think University of Virginia was it. We played there. I played there twice now. I played there once each year. Their stadium is beautiful.
What's interesting about you bringing that one up, we had our friend Coach Bobby on, and he used to coach there, and he showed us what it looked like before they built it. And when we talk about in desperate need of renovation, something like they played on the Sandlot field for real prior to building that park. It was crazy.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Like, and taking BP there is just, it's so nice. We do have a big series with Creighton coming up this year, and that, I think, playing in Omaha, that's definitely a bucket list check right there.
Maybe it'll be just a tune-up for y'all to come there later in the season. I know that's big expectations, but I mean, you look at a team like Little Rock who made the run last year into the Supers. Like, you never know. Murray State made the run all the way to Omaha. Like, these are schools that y'all can relate to. So you never know. Get you a feel for it, and maybe you make the run and get to step back there again.
That's exactly right.
All right. Well, before we let every guest bounce, we always play a game. You get the easy one, Daniel. I've been kind of being hard on some of these guests, but I figured he's from where we're from. I'd play nice. We just play a game of this or that. Just give you two options. You choose one or the other. Just can't say both. Can't say neither. You down?
Sounds good.
All right. Right off the top, this will be interesting. You're in Tampa now. Are you a beach guy or are you a lake guy?
Beach guy for sure.
That'll change when he has kids, Daniel. Ain't that right?
Let me tell you something. Gone are the days where you're like, man, I can't wait to go to the beach today. You know what the beach tells me? Like, I'm in for a long ass day. Long day. A lot of work. Dragging stuff to the beach, putting up.
That's probably the worst part. Carrying the stuff carrying out there is fine. You're excited. The day's starting, and you got to drag it all back. Like, it's the worst.
And here's the problem, Connor. In Florida, in the summer, what does it do every afternoon?
Oh yeah, it rains every afternoon. That is true.
Rains. So inevitably, when you go to the beach in the summer, you have to frantically pack all your stuff up
rushing to get
before
out of
the
there.
massive rain comes in, and it's
that is true.
No, we're not trying to talk you up the beat. We're just saying enjoy it now because
enjoy it.
All right, this next one's always interesting. It basically tells us if you're a golfer or not. Would you rather go golfing or would you rather go bowling?
I'm gonna have to say golfing, but I'm not a golfer. But I do, and I have golfed a couple times, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, I would enjoy it more if I was any good at it. And the problem is it takes a lot of time and even takes money. Like it's a hard investment to get good at. And so I'll just stick to not playing at all because I can't go out there and reasonably have fun and suck. Like those two things don't go well together. However, I can throw the ball as hard as I can down the middle in bowling and so there's that.
I mean, and golfing has got to be the most expensive hobby to be frustrated and hate every moment of it, and then turn around and be like, "Oh, I can't wait to do this again."
I mean, buy all those clubs and everything else too.
Yeah, like just the investment to get started. The investment to get started is expensive.
All right. Well, this next one, this is the two best options. I know you like both these. If you could go to any concert you wanted to, or you can go to any sporting event you wanted to, this is anything. There's nothing held off the list. Which one are you going to, the concert or the sporting event?
Oh, I'm going to have to go sporting event there.
What's the dream? What's the bucket list?
I mean, World Series Game 7, right? I don't think there's any other.
I get surprised at how many baseball players don't say that, honestly. We have it's probably like maybe a third of them, but sometimes if they come with like a legit answer, then you're like, okay, that makes sense. Like, but they'll just say something basic, maybe a UFC fight down on the floor or whatever, which is cool. But it's like, you're a baseball player, like Game 7 World Series isn't the first thing you think of. And then concert, like, I don't know, Daniel, I've been to a few concerts lately and they've been amazing, but like, I don't know, man. They haven't matched, and I haven't been to a Game 7 World Series, but I've been to the College World Series, and you were there with me, Daniel, in Omaha in 2024. Like that scene, just nothing has matched it. No concert I went to has even touched it.
There is no sporting event that I've ever done or concert that comes close to matching Omaha.
Let me ask you this, Daniel. This show is supposed to be about Connor, but I'm going to hit you with this or that question. WrestleMania or Omaha?
Oh.
What'd you say?
It's Omaha. It's Omaha by a landslide. And the reason being is because while WrestleMania is great, like, there are bad seats. In Omaha, there is not a single bad seat. You can go anywhere and have a great time.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get to some baseball action. I'm going to put you on the spot. Just one game. It's the one that I'm going to be at covering this weekend. Obviously close to where you're from. You know how big of a rivalry series this is. We got Mississippi State visiting Ole Miss. Number depending on which ranking you go to, but basically number 5 against number 14. Who you got?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I got to give it to Mississippi State.
They are right now playing as the better team, but I'm hoping because we have a ton of guests on Ole Miss, so our rooting interest is there. I'm gonna hope it's at Ole Miss. They're at home, but I'm with you. If I was to have to like lay money on this game or put my life on the line, I would be riding Mississippi State. But I'm hoping it goes the other way. Daniel, who you got?
I think Mississippi State. They're playing really good baseball right now. I think there's a small chip on their shoulder, more so than Ole Miss. I don't know.
Well, they didn't
But
overlook their
here's the
midweek game
thing.
tonight. They played Southern Miss tonight, and I wondered if they would get caught looking ahead. And last I looked, they're beating the brakes off Southern Miss.
And had they lost, it still would have been okay because it's not like Southern Miss is a scrub team. But you definitely don't want to lose that game and then turn around.
I
And
quoted
lose.
you today on Twitter because Georgia lost again, and they're 1-3 in midweeks. And I said, as Daniel Ball says, if you can't win your midweek, you can't win the national championship.
I can't trust you. I can't if you can't win a midweek, I can't trust you to go and host a regional and play the number 4 seed that's coming from wherever.
What's your thoughts on that, Connor? We're not talking about 1 week. We're talking about like, so what started this conversation was a couple, like, what was it, like 3 years ago, where Florida lost every midweek, and he was, people say midweeks don't matter. And Daniel was like, that's crazy. And I mean, Daniel obviously coached college baseball, and he believes that every game matters. So for you, like, is that just crazy talk to think that the midweek games don't hold any weight compared to the weekend series?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's absolutely. I think that is crazy. I think the midweeks absolutely do matter. Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity in all cases. I mean, most schools, you talk about mid-major, they that becomes the bullpen ends up getting a lot of work, and you got to have depth in there, and that's kind of where that depth gets exposed on whether you have it or not is in those midweeks.
Absolutely. And it is also the chance to get some guys playing time in that lineup that depth may matter. You never know when that injury may happen or when somebody's got to step in, and you get some ABs in that midweek, get that confidence up. So they definitely matter. But back on track, I asked you the best question with 2 good answers on Concert Sporting Event. Now I got to ask you the one with the 2 bad answers. Would you rather spend 5 years in prison or 10 years in a coma?
Oh, I feel like 5 years in prison, right? Just so you know what's going on. I mean, at least you know what's going on. At 10 years in a coma, you're waking up and
you're in your 30s, man. Like,
yeah.
So you got 2 different opinions on this show. So I agree with you. However, the man across says no jail for him ever. He said he won't even step in the parking lot. He's not even visiting me if I go.
Oh man,
and I don't blame you for that either. I don't blame you for that. I really don't. That's a tough.
Go ahead.
It's really not, Connor, because if you know anything about jail, it's a place that nobody really wants to be. Even the people there, they do silly things. They do bad things to get there.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you they don't want to be there. So that's how you know it's really.
We actually had a top 10 Bellator fighter on this show, and I asked him the question, and we had no clue that he had been to prison. And he fires off immediately, I've been to prison and I ain't going back. And Daniel was like, if that dude ain't going back to prison, I ain't never going.
Ain't nobody doing it.
But I'm with you, man. If I was your age and I think about, man, 10 years of my life gone, basically the best years of your life, most people say, your 20s, missing out on the rest of baseball, that stuff. It's a tough thing, but you thought that question was hard. Here comes the hardest one. We end on the hardest one. Our favorite to ask, if you could win a national championship this year, or you could be the number 1 pick overall in the MLB draft, which would you choose?
Oh, man, I can't go away from it. I'm a team guy. I'm going national championship all year, all day.
I mean, Daniel, you've never really had to answer. You know where I stand. I'm taking the first pick. I'm a selfish individual. What are you doing?
I mean, given the scenario, like I'm taking the money, bro. I am taking. You can,
and that's what Daniel did when Daniel asked this question, and he would have tried to persuade you in a different way than me. He would have said, "Okay, let's say you take the number one pick. Remember, I'm going to hand you a duffel bag with $10 million signing bonus incentive." And he's like, "You take the bag or you give it back?"
The easiest cash you ever make.
But I will tell you why the right answer, Connor. I will tell you. When we asked Paul Skeens that, and then we asked him again after he was the number one pick, he stayed firm. And if there's anything Paul's not, he's not a liar. He said that he would not change or replace the blood, sweat, and tears that him and his brothers put on that field. And when I have somebody who actually got the $10 million that Daniel's talking about, it's hard. But the problem is, just like the beach thing that we were talking about, me and Daniel look at everything from our perspective now. And money, man, once you have a family, golly, like a champion, he's got a champion. He tells me all the time he'll sell me his national championship ring, $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000 right now.
I'm waiting for the blue light special. When you mark it down to like 10, I'm in.
Nah, bro,
I'm gonna wear it around everywhere. Then be like, "You won that?" Yes, I did.
It appreciates every year in value. So it does.
Yeah.
You're lucky. Your discount is that it hasn't gone up in value in the 6 years we've been doing this.
When we get our money back in stocks on Chinook, I'm buying your ring. So you'll get all the money off our stocks. Then there you go. But that is the end of the game. He passes with flying colors, Daniel. I'm impressed by Connor, man. I think we're gonna have to find a way to tune into these Georgetown games. I'm gonna look into it when we get off here.
I got one quick question before we get out of here, Connor. What's the plan after school? What's the plan?
Man, definitely play as long as I can. Whenever that road comes to an end, whether that be in 6 months or 6 years or 10 years, looking at going into consulting.
Okay. What kind of consulting? Who are you consulting?
He thought he was off the hot seat, Daniel. Golly.
I'm curious. Maybe I need some consulting later in life.
Yeah. I would say like some general business consulting, just day-to-day consulting for larger companies. And then I've also looked into tax consulting, although I'm not really sold on the tax consulting. The business consulting is a little bit more fun, if you will.
I mean, if you do some tax consulting, look, this is what I want. Or maybe I should probably say this off air. I want my tax consultant to know where the line is, and we don't really cross it. We like maneuver it around us, but like we never cross the line. That's what I want my tax consultant to do. So I don't know what they're teaching you at Georgetown. I don't know what they taught you at LIU when it comes to tax consulting or consulting work, but that's what people want.
Daniel,
definitely.
Daniel, when they get into Big East play, which starts April 2nd against Xavier, you can catch them on ESPN Plus through all their Big East games. There you go.
There you go. The Hoyas and the Musketeers. Man, lighten it up. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. All right, Connor, man, anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
Nah, I really just want to shout out you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me. And man, we had some hiccups yesterday, and just thanks for hanging with me and getting me here.
He had to settle with seeing your face instead of Ava's. That's his own. He gets his own punishment right there, man.
You don't tell Ava this, but you're a winner. You are a big winner. Oh man!
Hey, you know what I actually did? You know what I actually did? I got to put the recording out, Daniel. I wanted to wait till after the midweeks were over. I told Ava, I said we weren't going to not do anything, so we recorded. I made her pick the slate of games her first time.
This is going to be good.
I think she was picking per two things, right? Which guest she liked the best that we interviewed, what team they're on, and uniforms, of course. But hey, you know, she'll probably outpick us both just because she went that route.
Probably, and
the one that's going to get her in trouble. The one that's going to get her in trouble, though, Daniel, she picked Vandy over Tennessee, and you know we got a lot of Tennessee listeners. They're going they're gonna have some issues with that.
Yeah.
Talking about team that needs a win. I mean, wow. Anyhow, Connor, man, hey, appreciate you coming on. If there's anything we can do for you, please reach out to us, brother.
Absolutely. Jim, I got to get some Jesus One apparel.
Absolutely, man. We'll get you that. We got to get you some sunflower seeds. Got to get you some apparel. Man, hey, he's old enough for the old diamond. We'll just get him the whole
Yeah,
bag.
I mean, we got to get to the whole shooting match. I mean, we got to get some Chinook in that dugout. We got to get you Jesus One. I mean, we got some work to do.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you guys.
Connor, appreciate it, man. Yeah, of course. Best of luck along the way.
Thank you.
Like I said, for real, reach out if you need anything, man.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. That's Connor Price, everybody. If you like hearing Connor's story or you just like hearing Average Joe's talk X's and O's, please like, share the podcast on Facebook. Head over to YouTube, like, subscribe, notifications. That way you are first to know when new content is dropped. Jim, I saw you put something out today. There was a little graphic that you put out with guests coming up. Who's coming? I need to know. The people want to know.
We got Walker Hooks from Ole Miss tomorrow night, talking to him before the big series. And then Thursday, man, we got Lily Tubbs, man. She qualified for 3 of the 4 events in the regionals to qualify for the national championship. And then we're going to head next week. We got Southern Miss and West Virginia baseball. So it's going to get real. We're going to bounce all over the country.
I mean, love it. Love it. If you like hearing it, stay tuned. We'll see everybody next week. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.